Hey, in this video I'm going to be making some bronze throwing knives. The first step is to make some wooden patterns so that I can make a sand mold. I drew a simple design and burned an outline on a thin piece of wood with my laser cutter. These knives are simple, so it didn't take that long to make the patterns, unlike the pattern I made for the dagger, which took days. I'm hoping to make 7 knives in order to efficiently practice with them, but 5 or 6 will also work. In order to save metal during casting, I ground an edge on one side of the knives. A thin layer of talcum powder helps when it comes time to remove the patterns and keeps the two halves of the mold from sticking together. As with my other castings, I'll be using this oil-bonded sand known as Petrobond. This stuff is amazing at capturing fine detail in the pattern. Unfortunately, my patterns did not lift out of the mold very well, causing the edges of the sand to break away. I tried to put a slight taper on the edges of my pattern to avoid this, but it must not have been enough. That's alright, it just means I have more grinding and filing to do later. In this bronze, I'll be using 88% copper and 12% tin. Copper has a much higher melting point than tin, so it must be melted first and the tin must be added second. Adding borax helps remove impurities and helps the two metals mix together. Bronze is far stronger than copper and tin alone, and was used to make tools and weapons for thousands of years. As I said in my last video, when it comes time to pour, it must be done very quickly and carefully. Right when the burner is turned off, the clock starts ticking. As soon as the molten metal is removed from the foundry, it will solidify within seconds. Making these small holes to pour the metal into, known as sprues, was a bit of a gamble and ended up being a mistake. However, the casting was a success. I just ended up spilling a lot of bronze onto the ground. So I ended up with 6 knives, but I would have ended up with 7 if my mold was designed a little better. Now all I have to do is cut off the sprues and start cleaning up the knives. The drive belt on my sander broke, so I had to improvise by attaching a corded drill to it, which got the job done. I'm amazed at how strong this bronze alloy is. These knives really take a beating, and aside from a little bending on the tips, they're hardly damaged at all.
Yeah.
If you've enjoyed this video, please consider giving it a thumbs up and subscribing for future projects. Thanks for watching.